Done?
Yes.
Okay, so today is the first class in the course of Applied Linguistics, and I'm welcoming you all to this class. So without even talking further, let's begin the topic. So this slide basically gives the impression to introduction to Applied Linguistics. We'll be dealing with definition, scope, and relevance for undergraduate linguistic students just like you. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so the definition of applied linguistics. Applied linguistics is, okay, please, I'm going very fast through these slides. Cope with it. Okay, applied linguistics is an interdisciplinary domain dedicated to the pragmatic analysis and resolution of language-centered real-world issues. Okay, it utilizes linguistic theory, empirical research, and interdisciplinary methodologies to explore challenges in education, communication, healthcare, technology, and policy. Everyone, please write it down. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
This is very important for your midterm exam also. This definition. Quickly, write it down. For this class, we do not have much time, so do everything fast. So this is the definition of applied linguistics. If I ask you what is applied linguistics, you'll be writing this definition only, and you know how to write. So while you're writing, let me explain. Applied linguistics is an interdisciplinary domain. Well, it deals with interdisciplinary things. So you can always underline this thing, interdisciplinary domain. Dedicated to the pragmatic analysis. Well, pragmatic analysis also you can underline. And resolution of language. Well, the analysis should be pragmatic enough and should be aligned with the resolution of language. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Great. So, language-centered real-world issues. Well, language-centered real-world issues. Real-world issues is the most important part here because it is applied. Applied in which place? Applied where? This is the question. Well, applied in the real-world context, real-world situation. Am I correct, Sibga?
Yes, sir.
Great. So, it utilizes linguistic theory, empirical research. Well, linguistic theory, you can always underline that. Empirical research, yes, that's also an interdisciplinary methodologies to explore and ameliorate challenges in education, communication, healthcare, technology, and policy. Well, applied linguistics is important in education. Definitely, we are reading and writing it. And education, I mean, yes. What should be the linguistic purpose of educating people? I mean, how they will educate themselves, what linguistic theories we will apply to the education of children, education of adults. Yes, we all know that. We are dealing with that. You guys already have SLA, second language acquisition. You already have done that, so you know that CPH, critical period hypothesis, and all those things.
Yes.
So this is quite self-explanatory. Education gone. Communication, yes, definitely. Communication is one of the most important part of applied linguistics, or the place of work, the area of work. Because communication and communication disorder, jogajog boi kollo. Communication disorder is one of the most important part where applied linguistics has its grab. Because how we communicate to the people, how we can communicate to the other way, that means we are basically enhancing one meaning, but they are understanding another one, so that could be communication disorder. So these things will be dealt with applied linguistics. Then healthcare, definitely healthcare also. Well, I have seen a very comic video. Well, long story short, a doctor operated one patient, then their relatives asked the doctor, so doctor, what's the condition of my patient? Yes, and then doctor said that, well, your patient is all right. Well, then they thought that, well, our patient is all good, but the all right is here is all right. That means his left portion of his body was paralyzed. That means he's not all right. It's not this all right. This is not this all right. This is all right. That means he is no longer been able to use his left part of his body. So this is one of the most important communication disorder. Yes, that's why healthcare also needs applied linguistics. Definitely doctors also. Yes. And technology and policy. Well, policy, we all know that. Policy. Well, you have, you know diglossia already. Social linguistics course, have you done that? Oh, maybe later. Okay, so the policy, which language will take over another one? Which language would be the medium of instruction, the medium of communication in the state level? That should be the matter of policymakers and policy makings, and applied linguistics has a grab on that place also. So the definition of applied linguistics is quite a bit self-explanatory, and the rest I already have explained to you. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Well, at least something. The later part you will be understanding after reading next slides or reading more and more. Okay? Yes, so let's go to the next slide. Core characteristics. Everyone, write those down, please. The core characteristics of applied linguistics. Do it fast. We do not have much time. Come on, write it down. The core characteristics of applied linguistics. Core characteristics means basically the area of interest or the area of work. Well, it is multidisciplinary in approach. Well, it approaches in multidisciplinary thing, just like psycholinguistics, social linguistics, computational linguistics. Well, computational linguistics is not very much of our concern, but definitely psycholinguistics and social linguistics is our concern. Yes, applied linguistics deal with really deals with psycholinguistics and social linguistics also. And the core characteristic of applied linguistics is empirical and context driven. Empirical means it is proven. Empirical means it's proven. That's right. And context driven, yes, context, real world situation, context, applied where? Applied at the real world. Context, that means is connected. Okay, oriented towards real life linguistic challenges and solution. Yes, that's the basically recurrently saying one thing. Oriented towards real life linguistic challenges and solution. Yes, in the real world situation we face many linguistic challenges. Yes, especially in a multilingual society, whether it could be in Dhaka, whether it could be in New York or San Francisco, where many linguistic properties clashes among themselves. Yes, sir.
What does empirical means?
Empirical means proven. Empirical means which is proven. Proved. Come on. Okay. Then the next slide, please. Okay, scope. Yes, sir. Oh, you can. You can check your friend script. Okay, we do not have much time. Hey, everyone, write those down. Scope of applied linguistics. Okay. You can write it from them. They have already written it. Yes, I will upload it.
So what does the term pedagogy mean?
Pedagogy, yes, I'll be explaining to you, but please write those down. Everyone, write fast. Okay, scope of applied linguistics. You guys write it down while I'm explaining to you. The scope is vast and expanding. Well, it is already vast and still expanding. That means it is still growing. Well, language acquisition and pedagogy. Language acquisition, second language acquisition, you already have done that SLA?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so applied linguistics basically give the norm, abide by the norms of second language or third language acquisition. That means language acquisition. Pedagogy means educational. Pedagogy means educational system. In this particular educational system, how we educate, how we learn this second language acquisition, or how we actually acquire that second language. Pedagogy. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then translation and interpretation. Yes, applied linguistics. Also scope, that means area of work. That does mean also area of work. Translation and interpretation. Translation, while translating, we have to be very keen so that the applied form of language should not be violated. That means, okay, some of the translations basically makes us feel that, well, this translation is very lively, very vivid, very alive. Some of the translations mean, oh well, this is the mainly, translation, word by word translation. Well, that does not give me the gist of language, the essence of language, the essence of that particular topic. Well, let me give you an example for that. Write it down, everyone, while I'm just telling you the story. Well, have you ever heard of Robinson Crusoe and Gulliver's Travels?
Yes.
How many of you have read Robinson Crusoe and Gulliver's Travels? Robinson Crusoe, Gulliver's Travels? Oh, come on, only 2, 3. Okay, how many of you have read Gulliver's Travels and Robinson Crusoe in your childhood? Okay, how many of you have read Robinson Crusoe and Gulliver's Travels in your adulthood? That means the real text. Well, you haven't read it. So, let me just tell it to you. I have read Robinson Crusoe by, Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe and Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels. I have read it in my childhood and I have read it in my department also. We had that course. So, well, the first one I have read, which was in Bengali. Okay, Robinson Crusoe and Gulliver's Travels. Well, I was then maybe 7 to 8 years old boy, maybe. So, the first one I have read is the abridged version, is a translated version for children. That's the basically children's friendly translation, or children's friendly abridged version, which is the work of translation. Well, then I thought Robinson Crusoe is a great adventurous person. Is a great adventurous person and a sailor who lost his ship, but still he managed himself in an island and he survived. He was a survivor to me. He was a hero. Then when I've grown up, then I went to the university. Then I read the text, the whole text of Robinson Crusoe. Then I realized, well, Robinson Crusoe was not a good man. He was a colonizer. He was basically a slave trader. He was trading the slaves from Africa to Caribbean for the sugarcane industry, labor of sugarcane. See, this is how a translation can mold your thinking also. Basically, that was a translation I was reading in maybe, I was in class 1 or 2 or 3 maybe. But that was the children-friendly translation or children-friendly abridged version. The real version was in a totally different manner. See, this is why translation, applied linguistics, is interconnected. You can translate any story. You can translate any story to your own version. See, yes, there were some truth. Robinson Crusoe were in danger, and the thunderstorm basically wrecked his ship, and then he went out from that ship and survived him in an island, in a remote island. Yes, that was truth, but that was the partial truth. The real story was another thing. So translation, in order to translate anything, we have to keep these things in our mind, that what is the applied version of this story, for whom I am translating. For whom I am translating, that means real world context, definitely, because our audience, our readers live in real world. That's why applied linguistics should be in the applied form, in the real world context and real world situation, in the manner of translation and interpretation. Interpretation also and translation. Abridged version interpretation. Come on. We all know that now. Huh? Have we understood it?
Yes.
At least to some extent. Okay, no problem. So then, language assessment and testing. Yes, language assessment and testing. In your exam scripts, we have some norms, we have some manners. We have some norms and manners that you have to do these things. You cannot do, you cannot write can't, you can't write cannot. See, you have to write cannot instead of can't. You have to write do not instead of don't. This is the applied version of your writing linguistic terms in the context of examination paper or their exam script. So basically, language assessment testing also the scope of applied linguistics. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, at least to some extent, no problem. Speech language pathology, well, there's not something we will be dealing with. Now, forensic linguistics, computational linguistics. Forensic linguistics, computational linguistics these things are basically core and more empirical things. That means we have to keep our research on these things. These things are basically expanding nowadays. So we will be talking about 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean the upper portion of the 4s. Okay, in our midterms and in our finals also. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Relevance in contemporary context. In a globalized and digital society, applied linguistics aids in, well, wait. Okay. Promoting equitable multilingual education, addressing language policies for inclusion, creating AI, artificial intelligence tools for translation and accessibility, and the final one is informing intercultural communication and migration policies. Yes, everyone, please write those down.
Yes, sir.
Take the class notes, then I will be explaining it to you from next days onwards how you will be writing to get a good grade in your midterm examinations if these questions arrive. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Great. My students are good. They understand everything. And everyone should be signed at that attendance sheet. No one should left behind with that attendance sheet. You have to be writing according to your batch. Anyone left with that? No one. Great. No one left with the attendance.
Sir, may I keep it there?
No. Keep it with you. Just keep it. Write fast. We do not have much time. Come on. Okay. The last one. Last one. Done. Okay, good. So let me explain it to you. Relevance in contemporary context. Why we should be studying applied. Why we should be studying. Why we should be studying applied linguistics in this real world context, or why we should be studying it now. What is the relevance of this course in our real life or in our real world? Okay, in the contemporary context, definitely in the contemporary world also. In a globalized and digital society, applied linguistics aids in, well, what does that mean? Aids in? Helps. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Promoting equitable multilingual education. Yes, that's one of the most important thing. That is one of the most important thing here we are dealing with. Because promoting equitable multilingual education. Hey, can anyone say promoting equitable multilingual education is the subtract of which of these things? Can anyone say? Oh, sorry, not which of this thing. Which of these things?
Education. Communication.
Which of these things? Is it education? Is it communication? It's not definitely healthcare, not technology, or is it policy?
Multilingual education. Communication.
Well,
And education too, maybe.
relevance, promoting equitable multilingual education is a subtract of policy. It is basically the policymakers who will say what to learn, what will you be learning. I mean, they are making your syllabus. You have done syllabus in material development? Oh, you haven't done it yet. Okay, maybe later. So, syllabus designing and materials development is the subtract of the policymakers, is the state, is the government who will be determining what will be your level of education, what will be the language of your education. Definitely is the state who owns this. So this is the policy maker's decision. Promoting equitable and multilingual education. Well, suppose we are in okay, just not suppose, I'm giving you the exact data. Do you know Brick Lane at London? Do you know the place Brick Lane? Well, Brick Lane is a Bengali diaspora, I mean Bangladeshi diaspora at London. So many Bangladeshis live there at Brick Lane, the name of this place. Or maybe nowadays it is called Tower Hamlet, maybe. Well, I could be wrong, but some of these, I mean just something like that. Well, there Bangladeshi people lived in a very majority amount of persons there. So the government of England, basically the government of England established some schools there to educate the children over there. So then they to promote their own culture, they were introducing 100 marks Bengali for their A-levels and O-levels examinations. 100 marks Bengali compulsory. 100 marks Bengali for them only, because they are basically in a Bengali diaspora at London. Even if they are in London, they have to sit for an exam which is called Bengali Language and Literature for at least 100 marks in their board exams, A-levels, O-levels. See, this is how we or they are promoting equitable multilingual education. Yes, they are learning English, maybe German, maybe Spanish also something, but they have to learn Bengali also because they are in a Bengali diaspora at London. So it is the policymakers, court, it is the policymakers' decision that yes, you have to read these. You have to sit for an exam for 100 marks, 200 marks, whatever, for your board exams. In order to pass your board exam, in order to clear your A-levels and O-levels, you have to sit for these. Some of you may know how to pass in A-levels and O-levels. Yes, that's right. So promoting equitable multilingual education is the policymakers' chess table. It is the decision of policymakers. Okay, addressing language policies for inclusion. Yes, that's the same thing in a different language. Well, why are they doing it? Why are they promoting another culture rather than their own culture? For inclusive society, come on. In a city just like London or New York or Paris or Tokyo, many languages and many cultures basically intercollide among themselves. So they have to keep a harmony. They have to keep a traditional harmony among themselves so that they do not collide. They rest, they keep themselves in their own places. Yes, I'm keeping my own culture, you can keep yours as well. No problem of it. I can wear my attire, you can wear your attire also. I can sacrifice at Eid al-Adha my rituals, and I can follow my rituals by sacrificing animals, and you can sacrifice or whatever ritual you can follow. No problem of it. So this is how a multicultural society actually cohesive ties, with using cohesive ties, they remain peacefully among themselves, not just like us, quarreling with one another and just making disruption in the country. Well, addressing language policies for inclusion. Well, language policies is playing vital role for inclusion or for providing an inclusive society at that places. Whether it could be in London, whether it could be in Paris, whether it could be in San Francisco, no problem with it. So promoting equitable multilingual education, we understood that. And then addressing language policies for inclusion. Yes, we already have one example in Brick Lane or in Tower Hamlet at London. So creating AI tools for translation and accessibility. Well, this is something artificial intelligence, that this is something which is dealing with the CAC people and those computer geeks. Yes, it is important for us also, applied linguistics, how to make computer talk, how to understand the computer our language, but this is not important for your midterms. Okay, informing intercultural communication and migration policies. Yes, the migration policies also. Well, in a country where you are in a minority position, well, there, how should the country, how should the state be treating you? This is one of the most important concern nowadays. So applied linguistics basically deals with that also. Yes, even if you are minority, even if you are not in the majority of that particular country, you can never harm their language, you can never harm their culture, you can never harm their beliefs. Yes, the linguists basically for an inclusive society deals with these things. Yes. Hey, how are you doing? It's good to see you after many long
Yes.
no, not years, come on, many long moments. Okay, informing intercultural communication. Yes, here the communication arrives. Well, they have one lingua franca. We all know lingua franca what is. Common language. Lingua franca means? Lingua franca means common language. Yes, they already have lingua franca. Maybe you are a German, you are a Spanish, you are a Bangladeshi, then you all actually speaking in one lingua franca. Maybe it could be English, maybe it could be French, maybe it could be German, maybe it could be Hebrew, who knows. So intercultural communication, that means lingua franca here plays a vital role. And then the migration policies. Yes, the inclusivity, the inclusiveness of the society. Well, yes, thank you. So that's the end of today's class. Thank you. Yes, I'm repeating it again.